Matthew's the 16th chapter, verse 13 through 19. Matthew's the 16th chapter, verses 13 through 19. I'm going to pick up where I was last week. And I'm going to be from the King James Version. And I want to stick with this because I believe the Lord gave it to me while I was flying back from Germany on the plane. He put this in my spirit. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." When he said unto them, "But whom say ye that I am?" And Simon answered and said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered and said unto him, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." I want to talk to you for a little while today from the topic, let me get it here. It's time to believe what we hear in the Spirit. Right. I alluded to it last week, but I want to continue it because it's really time that we believe what we hear in our spirit. Okay. For whatever reason, we want to know more than what we believe. All right. Lord, help me today. It seems that nowadays we want to be more right than operate in faith. Now that's a very mature statement. So I need you to put on your mature brain today. Okay, I need you to get ready to eat some meat today, because do we want to be right? Yes. But whenever I want to be right more than I operate in faith, something is wrong. Okay. Okay, there's a spiritual problem when we want to be right more than trust and believe God, that what God has put in our spirit. Some of you may be saying, "Well, Pastor, why wouldn't we want to be right?" Okay? The problem is when I want to be right so much and I waste so much time trying to make sure that I'm right, people die. Okay. People are making decisions and you got the answer in your spirit. God. And people are making decisions while you're waiting, while you're trying to be right, while you're trying to know so much. The problem is we are veering more toward our flesh, Lord help me today, than the word of the Lord. We should know by now some stuff we ain't thinking about. That's right. All right, yeah. We should know by now that this got to be a God thing.
That's right.
Lord help me today. Listen, our flesh is not our friend. It's not a friend of God. Okay? The scripture says this, that for we walk by faith, in 2 Corinthians 5:7, we walk by faith, not by sight. We're not going to know everything.
That's right.
Some things we got to really step out and speak it by faith.
That's right.
Whatever the Lord put in your spirit, that you just need to speak it. Romans 14:23 says, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. This is the part I want to get to. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin. You all, the problem is that we got to understand that sin is not just drinking and smoking.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, but whatever is not of faith. Are you trusting God? Are you believing God? How are you seeing God? Are you operating in faith? What have He put in your spirit? A lot of stuff is, as the army would say, there's a lot of moving parts.
That's right.
And while we're trying to make sure that it's right, because we don't want to be wrong, let me tell you something. God will support what He has said.
That's right.
We're going to find it out in the scripture in a little while, but you got to learn that if He put it in your spirit, it's okay. See, now just make sure your spirit is not contaminated. That means live right. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Live right so when He put it in your spirit, you ain't got to keep second guessing. Well, let's go to Romans 8, 5 through 8. Read your little scriptures here. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. But they that are after the Spirit do mind the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity, which means it hates against God. For it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. Verse 8 says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. You all listen, when I want my flesh to confirm everything, I'm operating in the flesh. When God can't speak to me without me looking it up and making sure it's right, I'm talking about this, when we done got into this habitual habit of stuff. I ain't saying nothing until it be confirmed. Y'all, why can't we believe God? I know it sounds far-fetched, especially when we done came off of a fast. We done came out of shut-ins and we can't believe God. And that's what Lord, speak to us. We don't pray, Lord, speak. Y'all listen, there's something to it when they talk about if we abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Y'all, there is a place that the devil can't get to us now.
That's right, that's right.
I want you to understand there is a place where he cannot come in and contaminate. And that's when we're close to God. Because he cannot stand the presence of God and God can't stand his presence. So when we get real close to him and we are abiding, let me tell you something. Man, the devil got to operate from a long handle spoon. Regardless if you're a preacher or a lay member, you got to be willing to trust what God done put in your spirit.
That's right, that's right.
So don't think this is just for preachers. Regardless of your, if you love God, God will speak to you. Yes. God will put some stuff in your spirit that will alarm you to speak the word. It's amazing. Although all the other disciples was, when Jesus asked the question, who do men say I am? They were ready to give an answer. But they all got quiet except one. When he said, well, who do you say I am? Sometimes we know a whole lot about other folks. But what do you know about Jesus?
That's right.
Who is he to you? Y'all, this is important. I'm serious. It is important to know who he is to you because you're going to die one day.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm going to die one day. And I need to know who he is.
Yes.
So they ready to sound off. Oh, some say he's this, some say he's that. But he gets right to the point.
Who do you?
Who do you say?
That's right.
I am. Lord have mercy. They don't say nothing. Only Peter respond with, you're the Christ. Lord have mercy. Only the one that's most likely not to know in our mind, the way we think, ain't no way in the world Peter gonna know this. He always acting this way. He answered what God put in his spirit. He didn't second guess it. Lord help me today. Tiffany, he just spoke it. When all his partners were quiet, he said, thou art the Christ.
Yes.
Lord help me today. See, he's accustomed to just speaking fast. This time he hit it. Thou art the Christ. Man, and Jesus' response to him was flesh and blood. You didn't think about this, Peter. Oh, no. Flesh and blood didn't reveal this to you. But what my Father, the Spirit of God, revealed this. It was in his spirit, Britt, that the man that they had been around, that nobody else knew about, was the Christ. Lord. Sister J, he had to speak it. It was down in. God put it in him that fact. And as God put it in him, he spoke it.
Yes.
Now, this is not just for credit that Peter spoke, but what happens when we speak what God put in our spirit, there's some stuff that happens afterwards.
That's right.
See, this is why it's crucial that we speak it. And when we looked at the verses that we read earlier, Jesus answered him and said, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah. Flesh and blood has not revealed this unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock. Listen, the way we receive salvation stemmed from what was in his spirit. Oh, God. What was in Peter's spirit that he spoke, God took that and said, you know what? Now upon this rock, upon your statement, because your statement is so solid, it's like a rock, that upon this statement, I will build my church. Y'all, what the Lord has placed in our spirit is more than just some words.
That's right.
But they come with some substance and power. They come to make change. Oh, he ain't just putting stuff in our spirit just before we can say, oh, the Lord put something in my spirit. No. They come to make change. Lord help me today. And when he put it in your spirit, sometimes it makes global changes.
That's right.
Oh. Sometimes it's personal, but sometimes God will put something in your spirit that will make a global change.
Yes, he will.
That will make a regional change, will make a national change. See, because God will use us on different levels, and you got to understand whatever level that he's using you on is good. Because we don't go to heaven because of how many people we serve. We go to heaven because we've been obedient.
That's right.
And so what he put in this man's spirit, he spoke it. And then God turned around and confirmed it. And told him, now flesh and blood didn't give you this. But my Father put this there. It's time to believe it, y'all.
Thank you, Lord.
It's time to believe that what he put in here is real. Y'all, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. But man, I remember the Sunday we prayed for Sister Tiffany. We had just came out of the shut-in. And while I was sitting right there, with no premeditation, while I was sitting right there getting ready to come up, my wife was up doing whatever she was doing, the Lord said, pray for her about the baby. And I said, can I pray for you? He put it in my spirit. Now, it wouldn't have been that God wouldn't have done it, because I didn't say it. At least I don't think so. But just think. If I wouldn't have said something and God would have said, okay, well, since you didn't say nothing, I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. Y'all listen to me. It's important.
Yes.
Not to build us, but God is trying to prove something to us. trust him. That
Yes.
if he said it, and let me tell you something, normally what is really happening is that he's building us up for something.
Yes.
That's bigger than, because you think that, man, that was huge, God, I said something. What he's building you up for is even bigger.
Yes.
That's right.
And he starts in areas where he's saying, okay, let me get you to trust me.
Wow.
Let me get you to trust me. I'm going to put something in your spirit.
Yes.
Let me see where you trust that it's me.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
What have you put in your spirit that you're hesitant about? Because sometimes it not only deals with giving somebody else a word, it might just be a response to him. This was a response to him. Others was there, they heard him. But God wants to know something. This is a hearing test. Can you hear? Because when you get in the thick of it,
All right.
you need to be able to hear.
That's right.
Listen to 1 Corinthians 2 and 5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God.
Yes.
I don't have to know everything.
Right.
But do I believe God?
Yes.
Yo, I come to this place to understand that if I'm wrong, he said over in Exodus that that prophecy was wrong. Not that the prophet is wrong, not that the prophet is a false prophet, but that thing that I said that didn't come to pass, he said that wasn't of him. Now I know the risk that we take is, now people ain't gonna want to believe what you got to say. But the truth is, y'all ain't my problem.
That's right.
My problem is, I need to convince God that I do what he tell me to do. And so if I'm right the next time and you still stuck on the first time, that's your fault.
That's right.
And God wants you to get over it.
Uh-huh.
And when we keep our life right with God, when the next time the preacher come or whoever come that's right, your spirit will bear witness.
That's right.
The problem is we got stuck on the first time and we ain't moved from the first time. They was wrong then, and ain't nothing else they can say now that will ever be right. Y'all, something wrong with us.
That's right.
Yes.
I remember my first marriage, my wife warned me after she had failed. She warned me to be careful of Sister so-and-so. Sister J, me and my carnal mind. How in the world you gonna tell me to be careful? And you just did what you did. How? Listen, I got stuck. You see what I'm saying? I got stuck, not realizing that if God, see, because y'all, you ain't got to be all the way right for God to put something in your spirit.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just telling you, you ain't got to be all the way right. God will choose whoever he wants to put in your spirit.
That's right.
The problem come with, it's hard for me to detect when I know I ain't right. When I know I'm kind of straddling the fence, it's hard for me. Now I got to battle with, Lord, is this you? Lord, what? But when you know you're right,
That's right.
when you know you've been doing things right, it's easier to detect, okay, God, this is you. And God dealt and dealt with it to warn me. Don't get stuck on what somebody else did that now, okay, they'll never ever be right. That's not the way God operates.
That's right.
See, and you got to also realize that probably is probably telling on you where you at. where have you forgiven? That you have moved past that place where that now you can, especially if people are saying that they done got it right with the Lord, that now you can at least give them a chance, hear them out.
That's right.
What has he put in your spirit? Are you speaking what he's put in your spirit? What Peter spoke released so much. I mean, it really released so much because the Bible said that not only I'm going to build my church upon this rock. He said, and I will give unto thee the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah.
All of this is tied to what was in his spirit. Okay? And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth. Now, all of this is tied to what he said. One statement had what it is, ripple effect.
Yeah.
Y'all, speak what he put in your spirit. Don't be so keen on being right and so logical
That's right.
that it makes sense. Don't look at me and think I'm healthy and God done told you pray for him, he got diabetes. And I'm sitting up here telling you that I thank God that I don't take no medicine. Don't be intimidated because of my testimony. I shared with you all before, I was walking through Shoppers and a person passed by me and then they came back by and said, can I pray for you? And you know, I didn't know him. And I said, oh, okay, which one? Well, the Lord showed me that you got diabetes. You have diabetes? I said, not that I know of. I said, but you can still pray because I didn't know I had diabetes. Now, I found out that I had it, but they knew before I knew. God knew before any of us knew. And so I let them pray in the line at Shoppers at Stafford Marketplace. They prayed and I didn't insult them. I told them, no, not that I know of. But God put that in their spirit to pray for me. And so I let them pray. Because my mind said, well, okay, first of all, I know where I stand in God, so you ain't getting ready to shake nothing here. So if you pray and it ain't right, it's going to bounce off.
Right.
Okay, so you ain't getting ready to cast nothing on me. Okay, and so I let them pray. And then come to find out that I did have it. And I had it to the point where I had to get on medication. But to this day, for 2 years, I haven't had it.
That's all right. Thank the Lord. Praise the Lord.
God is amazing.
Yes, he is.
No more medication. When I had the surgery, I don't know what they did with the surgery, but I didn't have to take no more diabetic medicine.
Yes,
God is amazing.
Yes, he is.
But did it all stem from what God put in that person's spirit back in Shoppers years ago? And I let them pray. Y'all, we still right now is benefiting from what was in Peter's spirit today.
Yeah.
Today. And it is so clear, Jesus told him, flesh and blood didn't reveal this to you. You didn't know this, Peter. But my Father put it there. You know, God will put stuff in our spirit. Trust it. Trust it. I told y'all last week, the lady praying in Oakland, California. And in the middle of her prayer, the Lord tell her to pray for me. And she turned around and text me and said, I'm praying for you. And I tell her, I'm in Afghanistan. I don't know that in about 5 hours, these folks get ready to shoot a missile. Where I'm at. I don't know this. She don't know this. But in her spirit, Lord, help me today. And then my wife shared with me that, baby, the Lord woke me up, and I don't know if she said the Lord woke me up, but I know she said the Lord had me to pray for you for a long time. It was the same day. And she said, for some reason, I was praying in the spirit a long time. I was praying in tongues a long time. And because I had held out 2 days on her because I didn't want her to worry. I held out on her about 2 days. Then I finally told her, I said, I need to tell you something, such and such and such and such. And she began to tell me the Lord had me praying for you.
Yeah.
Y'all listen, this stuff works.
Thank you, Lord.
It works. If you put it in your spirit, react on it. In so many words, that's what my wife keeps telling us every Sunday, that if somebody come across your heart to pray for them, just pray. You don't know what you're blocking. You don't know what you're preventing. And most of the time, the people don't know what they're blocking. Man, this week Monday something happened to me on my way to work, and man, I felt so disappointed because I asked God, and God didn't do what I asked him to do, Ella Jr. And I felt disappointed, and I let the Lord know I was trying to be tactful, but I was like, Lord, I don't understand this. I asked you. I believed you for what I asked you, and you didn't do it. And I feel let down. I felt disappointed. And then I started thinking about it. I said, but Lord, I got to say thank you because you didn't let this happen, which could have happened.
Right.
And then while I was praying one day this week, he took me to Job and how that there are sometimes he would just step back and let it be what it be, because he's already have a thought about us. He already see us a certain way. And so sometimes he will step back and let us just let it be what it be. He'll let the enemy come on in and do what the enemy want to do, because he already know that they're going to stand. They're not going, this ain't going to break them. And we don't like that, y'all. We don't like when he feels so inclined to say, okay, you can test them. We don't like that. It would appear that we would be like, man, if God feels this way about me, yeah, Lord. and we don't like that. No, we don't like when he's bragging on us. Now, we like to pray, Lord, brag on me. Speak highly of me, but we don't understand that when he start bragging, he start backing up too. And he starts saying, okay, have at him. What have you put in your spirit? Lay people, preachers. It don't have to logically make sense. I knew several people had prayed for Tiffany. I knew she had desired, but now, and do you think I want to be wrong? Come on now. Because I know how my wife went up and down thinking she was pregnant, and just to find out she wasn't. So I knew the roller coaster. So I ain't getting ready to be playing with people. But God said, do it. It matters if you obey him. So what have you put in your spirit? We're standing.